Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. My name is Andrea. I'm going to be your MC tonight for the launch party. I know we are a global community, so thank you so much for taking the time to join us. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself since I'm going to be talking a lot. So I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm going to be entering my second year at McMaster University in Hamilton, studying health sciences. And I'm super passionate about education and social activism and gender equality. And fun fact, I am a very big foodie. And I'm super fortunate to be working on the brand and development team for the Serenity Project, which primarily means I'm working on the branding and long-term visioning for TSP, and then primarily applying that to our outreach and our social networks. So I joined TSP because I'm extremely passionate about wellness and women's rights. And the mission behind TSP is just so powerful and pure. So it was really an incredible opportunity to be able to maximize the power of these social networks, especially since in the time that we're in now, where global and virtual stuff, like the virtual stuff, is really important. I was really thankful to be able to amplify that and extend our impact through rebranding TSP so we can really emphasize and show our audience who we are and what we stand for. So one of my responsibilities was organizing this documentary release and launch party and get you all on this call safely and successfully. And we have quite the audience. But this documentary release is super exciting for us today because it captures our very first launch of TSP in 2017. And we're really grateful for the team that is behind the entire film that you will be seeing shortly. So I hope that they are all here, but I want to give a very huge thank you to the people who made this happen. Our incredible media team, Sterling, Darren, Mitch. Bella's gonna find you and try and put the spotlight on you guys. If you can give everyone a wave. Thank you guys so much for believing in us. We are here because of all your hard work and we really appreciate it. And in person or virtually, let's give them a huge round of applause. You guys can do it with your mics off, it's okay. I'd like to give a few more thank yous, some special thank yous to our sponsors for our 2021 show coming up in Feb. Haley and Cindy Coughlin, Cassidy Blake with the Lake Indigo Custom Tapestries, Hunter Metcalf with Honeybee Handmaids, and Colorado's famous Zany Art. And we have a few more additional thank yous. Kate Egan, who is a former TSP staff and volunteer on the call, Nitu for constant support and encouragement since the very beginning of the TSP, and Shantae, who is not only a former TSP woman, but also TSP's decorator with Enchanté's celebrations. So because we also didn't know who exactly would be joining us on this public virtual event, we haven't been able to ask the exact individuals I see here how cool they are. So just to highlight a small fraction of the immense diversity in our audience while ensuring their and to respect their anonymity, we have a Canadian poet who has rapped for individuals like Kendrick Lamar and Barack Obama. We have the leader of the Fortune 500 company. We have former Miss USA title holders. We have Rhodes Scholars from over 15 different countries around the world. And then we have staff and faculty from universities like CU Boulder, Harvard, Cambridge, and Oxford University. And we also have women who have been featured on shows like Good Morning America. And I know I'm just scratching the surface when I say these accolades. I think that's one of the million reasons that I love TSP, because we have such talented and promising individuals that support and care our nonprofit organization, and they are bonded by that same mission of women survivor empowerment and celebration. So now, the moment we're all been waiting for, other than the documentary release. I am so beyond honored to introduce the heart of the Serenity Project, our founder, Serene Singh. Serene, working with you over these past few months have truly been such an incredible opportunity. You really strive to take the time to really connect and foster really meaningful relationships with each and every one of your team members. beyond the work we do, that's why it's so special. And I could talk about you for hours, but I think it's time to hear from the boss lady herself. You are such a force, Serene. So introducing the one and only Serene Singh.
Thank you, Andrea. Isn't she so great, y'all? I really appreciate that introduction. And I know that we all are not in person together right now, and I can only imagine that type of energy and power that would bring if we all were, especially to someone like me who really feeds off of the energy of the room. But I can still feel it here, and I just want to take a second and really acknowledge the knowledge, the wisdom, the compassion that is still here in this virtual space. So if everyone can just take a second and really appreciate that, because I'm taking it all in and I want everyone else to have that second too. I'm scrolling and scrolling through each and every person here, and each of you is bringing your own unique gift to this documentary release event. And I, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that and for this opportunity that you are giving all of us to have made this a priority in your busy schedule today. I know there's people from all kinds of time zones. I know some of you are up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in places in the world just to be here. And it means both the world to myself and to the rest of the team. So thank you all. Before I answer why the Serenity Project was created, I want to put out a quick trigger warning that although no one will be going into any detail, we will be addressing issues like suicide, domestic violence, trafficking, among other traumatic experiences, as they are a critical element of the work that we do with survivors at the Serenity Project. So with that, please take care of yourself first and foremost, and let our team know if you need anything at any point. We have the chat function nearby. You all have us on email, and we have staff members on various members of the team on all social media. So we're here for you. Now, if I can bring everyone back to 2016 and 2017, I don't know what you were doing. I barely know what I was doing, but there are a few standout events that I want to mention today. At the time, I was working at the United States Senate as an intern, and my job and my duties were to be a scribe for meetings pertaining to women survivors. So I primarily worked on domestic violence policy, human trafficking law, victims of foster care abuse, among many others. I noticed one common trend at every single meeting that I attended. The women survivors were never in charge of the settings where change was being created, the change that would ultimately be impacting only the survivors themselves. When I spoke to survivors, it broke my heart to see the very women who I found resilient and so incredibly strong see themselves as shameful, unworthy of fighting for what they believed in, often believing they were undeserving of embracing life and of life itself. It was around this time that I lost a friend of mine to suicide, and I nearly lost another best friend of mine to suicide only a few weeks later. Both of these women in my life were survivors, and both struggled their entire lives with clinical body dysmorphia, something that women in the United States are facing at alarmingly increasing rates in recent years. Not only that, suicide is among the leading causes of death for at-risk women survivors. Although I was maybe 17 years old at the time, without any real life skill whatsoever, I wasn't okay just sitting on the sidelines waiting for someone else to notice the issues I was seeing in the world around me, both from the Senate briefings and from my two close friends. I knew the first step to challenging the violence was helping these women break the silence. I strongly believe that change does not ever come by standing on the sidelines and pointing and addressing and calling out the issues that need to be fixed. Change comes when someone steps away from the sidelines after they've noticed the problem and does something, anything, to address those issues, even if no one thinks it can be done, which they will, even if they are completely alone, which they might be, and even if they have not a clue of how to begin to do what they want to do, which is a good thing. Imagine what this world would look like if each of us refused to say no to ourselves when we had a dream, a vision, a passion, to see a change come to life. I guarantee you one thing, our world would be very different. Because now, 3 years later, the Serenity Project is a registered nonprofit. We partner with 450 plus brands, including Victoria's Secret Pink, Phenomenal Women Incorporated, and the Love Your Natural Self Foundation, the founder of which, who is on this call today, connected to 100 volunteers globally, the hosts of tens of annual workshops, works with over 35 globally based guest speakers, and will continue to impact hundreds of at-risk women for the many years to come. Not to mention, we are here on a documentary screening, a published film on our work. And you know it's official when it's on IMDb. I checked this morning, it's there. And also, as of yesterday, literally as of yesterday around this time, we are now in a textbook for middle school and high school students to learn from and to be inspired from, which is super exciting. So now you might be wondering, okay, Serene, sounds cool, but what is the Serenity Project? I don't get it. The team will go into a lot more detail on the different parts of this nonprofit. And it is a little complicated, so do pay attention, but it's all really cool. But for us, our three main tasks are to empower at-risk women or survivors by challenging, first, the unhealthy beauty standards and body dysmorphia. Second, the rising number of suicide attempts and mental health stigmatization surrounding women survivors and at-risk women. And third, the lack of support, tools, and skills survivors receive to grow through the trauma that they have gone through and to celebrate their strength and perseverance. So the Serenity Project begins with a fashion show, followed by a 12-month curriculum and mentorship program. The curriculum builds on skills like self-compassion, meditation, public speaking, to help the Serenity Project women take charge of their own story and to transform their pain into their power. While our mentors are women who are just passionate about serving, and they care about the Serenity Project's mission, and they support survivors to develop passion projects that will help pay their experiences forward. Our goal with all of these different components is to help these women discover that they can find and use the wings behind them that they've always had. Women in the Serenity Project have developed projects for many causes, including domestic violence, PTSD survivors, and anti-bullying, paying their experiences forward to empower even more women. TSP women are mentored and challenged through this experience to become the heroes that they wish they had. Many people also ask our team often, and you might be wondering this too, why is it called the Serenity Project? What people might not know is that this nonprofit was initially started and formed by pageant title holders and professional models from around the United States. Yes, I mean crowns, sashes, tiaras, makeup, the whole shebang. And being a title holder myself at the time, I never had an experience like what we see on toddlers and tiaras. I never had that experience. I did have an experience of growing my own confidence and growing into my own unequivocal appreciation for who I was born to be. For us pageant women who were starting the Serenity Project, we knew that survivors struggled with confidence and self-love. And while we approved the skills of pageantry and modeling that we gained, we knew how inaccessible they really were, financially, especially structurally, etc. Serenity means to bestow the rain upon someone else. I'll say that again. Serenity means to bestow the rain upon someone else, a symbol the initial team of this nonprofit wanted to have as we passed on the torches that we carried on our journey to self-love and confidence to the at-risk women community that we serve now with the Serenity Project. I believe there is no force in the world that is equal to a woman who is determined to rise. And in the Serenity Project, I work with these women, I'm inspired by these women, and I aim to serve these women every single day. And it's the greatest honor for me. Speaking of women who are determined to rise, I want to introduce someone who has become family to me over the years. When I first met Hayden Metcalf in 2013, she was actually a national title holder for the largest youth pageant in the country. And she was remarkably intimidating to me. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm really not the person who's intimidated ever. But her positivity, her thoughtfulness, her compassion, and relentless encouragement for the people and issues she cared for and continues to care for today continue to draw me into her light. And since then, she's been stuck with me. Hayden has been there with me literally since day one of this nonprofit organization and continues to be an immense role model and incredible asset to this team and to my life. Hayden, take it away.
Thank you, Serene. Thank you so, so much. I love you. As many of you know, Serene is not only a board member with the Serenity Project, she wears a lot of hats around here, including being director of financials, and she is the founder of Serenity Project. This girl has so many scholarships. We're not even going to go into that list. But this all began back in 2017, like she was saying. We were coming up on the end of our reign, and we wanted a way to continue and an avenue to follow to keep inspiring women across the country. So this has continued to grow up to an international level, and I am just baffled at the advancements that Serene's been taking with this. So again, my name is Hayden Metcalf. I'm known as the Director of External Relations for the Serenity Project, and I've been around since the very beginning, and I would like to introduce the rest of the board members. So bear with me, probably gonna butcher a few names, even though I know them well. Some of them got married, so fair warning. First up is Megan Whited. She has been with us since 2017 as well. Megan competed in pageants in the area, and we knew her through those. She is currently our Director of Development, and Megan works very closely with our women throughout the year, helping to coach and prepare them for this program and for the experiences that we're putting forward. Excuse me. So Megan is a very special asset to us. Up next is Vernon Seth, and he is more of our secret weapon behind the scenes at the Serenity Project. There he is on the screen. And he has been with us since the very beginning. Again, he's our nonprofit manager, and we are so thankful for him. He has been an advocate for gender equality, which makes him really unique to our team. He's one of the only men that we have that volunteer with us, and we would not be here without all of his dedication and hard work. Our next teammate is Sierra Dijkstra. She is our Director of Mentorship. Sierra is an entrepreneur and artist. She is an activist and a true leader and a powerful resource for the women of the Serenity Project. We are lucky to have you, Sierra. Thank you. Our next board member has held many titles with the Serenity Project, including being a former model, Miss Tenacity, and our co-director of development at the time. She is the fabulous Leanne Gray, who you will see throughout the documentary today and all of her hard work she put forward in 2017. A special thank you to our next board member, who is a newlywed and a new mom. She is Josie Green. She has been with us since the beginning again, and she is the Director of Strategy for the Serenity Project. She is also the founder of the Phenomenal Women Incorporated and a voice to women across the country. Our final team member that I would like to give a shout out to is Nareen Singh. And there she is on your screens. She has been with us since 2017 and with Serene a lot longer. Although she's currently serving in the U.S. Air Force, Nareen has found a way to give back to the foundation every single day, and she continues to promote and volunteer with the Serenity Project. So thank you for your service, Nareen. We appreciate you. We love all of our team members here at the Serenity Project, and we are so thankful for their continued efforts and support. And it is my privilege to have introduced them to all of you. Again, my name is Hayden. So I would like to transition a little bit here. So again, going back to it, I met Serene through National American Miss, and we became best friends and eventually sister queens. After our reigning year together, she came to me with this idea to inspire and help women across the country. And I told her, let's go for it. Let's do this. We're both feet in. I am so thankful that she allowed me to collaborate on this program through her. It has really helped me to continue with empowering women and spreading my confidence and giving back to my community. I am from the western slope of Colorado, so I have a different outreach path than Serene does, being from the east side. It was a crazy turn of events after 2017 for me, excuse me. I was doing all of these things to promote independence and power, and yet I was going home and facing my own abuser. And that continued on until this January. So I was free in January. I chose to retreat from all social media, social interactions, and activities until I almost became unrecognizable to my friends and family. I am here now to not only share my story, but retake on my role with the Serenity Project to help inspire and empower these women and tell them that it's okay to take a stand, just like I had to. And being a board member for the Serenity Project, it is my responsibility to initiate contact between our women and our sponsors to ensure that these survivors are receiving around-the-clock support as well as utilizing the sponsored products that we give them to help with their day-to-day lives. So we are here to challenge social norms with the Serenity Project, and we are here to tell survivors to take charge of their own recovery. We are determined to be celebrated, invested in, and believed in, and that is exactly what we are here to accomplish with the Serenity Project. So thank you all for listening. I hope that you enjoy the evening, and I'm going to pass it off to Andrea.
Sorry, I was muted. I started talking. Thank you, Aiden. That was really powerful. So now I'm going to introduce some more incredible members of our team. So first up, we have Cassie. Cassie's a junior at Washington University, where she works closely with campus life to create and ensure a safe experience for women and non-binary students. And she has worked with various advocacy groups for reproductive justice. So Cassie, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Andrea, for the lovely introduction. As she mentioned, I'm a student at WashU, and I'm working on the fashion show for the Serenity Project. As a survivor of sexual assault myself, I was and continue to be lucky enough to have a robust support system and resources to heal safely and comfortably. However, I recognize this is an ironic representation of my privilege. My experiences drew me to TSP's invaluable work for survivors, as it provides the support I have in a way that is accessible to all women. This year, our fashion show will be on February 13th, 2021, which is the International Day of Self-Love. This event kicks off our women's TSP experience. Unfortunately, currently in the world, body dysmorphia among women is on the rise, with 1 in 50 having clinical body dysmorphia, and almost 10 in 10 women survivors of trauma, or the women the Serenity Project works closely with, experience severe body dysmorphia. So our first part of TSP is to challenge the negative internalized beliefs that they aren't beautiful and capable of seeing themselves as everything they dream to be. We do this through a high-end runway fashion show featuring these women who might not have ever had this type of opportunity before. Survivors are able to see themselves on stage in the same way that those around them always do, strong and beautiful. As the first glass ceiling they shatter for themselves, these women carry their runway experience into their TSP journey with the confidence to continue to dream and to believe in the power of themselves, no matter what obstacles may come their way. If you'd like to support these women at the fashion show, we're still looking for volunteers, sponsors, designers, and everything and anything glam. So if you are interested, please email us and I'd be happy to talk with you about how you can help or donate directly to our PayPal donation link. We are very excited for this year's show and hope you'll choose to be a part of it. So I'm just going to send it back to Andrea to introduce.
Thank you, Cassie. You were so inspiring. So next, we're introducing another boss member of our team, Bella. So Bella is a second-year student at McMaster University in Canada, and she is part of our guest speaker outreach and our Soaring curriculum team. She is passionate about health, sustainability, social justice, and she really strives to make a positive impact in all of her communities. So Bella, you can.
Thank you so much, Andrea, for the introduction, and hi everyone. As Andrea said, my name is Bella. My pronouns are she and her, and I am part of the guest speaker outreach and Soaring curriculum team. And Cassie did an amazing job introducing the TSP fashion show, but we don't just stop there with TSP. We at TSP really care that the women develop these lifelong skills, and we want to be a part of their journey. And this is where the Soaring curriculum comes in. It's a 12-chapter curriculum that supports the women's growth in personal and professional development. Each chapter is broken down into a chapter challenge, project, weekly activities, and bi-weekly inspiring guest speakers. And so the chapter topics range from things such as self-image, where the women learn skills to build their confidence, self-esteem, and positive body image, all the way to project development, where the women focus on developing a passion project to help a community that is close to their heart. And to help with the impact of the Soaring curriculum, we have amazing guest speakers coming in to lead virtual learning sessions with the women. And our guest speakers are from all around the world, and they're experts in their fields. We have renowned published authors, Rhodes Scholars, and social justice advocates. We've really got all our bases covered and really want to help the women have an impactful experience. The project is so much more than a one-day fashion show or a one-year curriculum. It's about helping these women that have been often left on the sidelines feel celebrated and giving them a lifelong toolbox filled with skills and relationships that they will carry throughout their whole lives. And being a part of TSP for me has been such a transformative experience. Even working behind the scenes of the projects, I myself have developed a lot of personal and professional skills and have become a confident version of myself. The Serenity Project isn't just made up of a team, at-risk women, and sponsors. It really is a family that provides endless love and support to everyone involved. Thanks, Andrea. Back to you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Bella. We can see all the hard work and passion you put into TSP and your Soaring curriculum. So far, recap everyone. So we have highlighted so far our fashion show, which challenges our women in TSP to change how they see themselves and transform their power. And then second, we have our 1-year-long 12-chapter Soaring curriculum program, which helps build a community of survivors over the year, as well as providing them tools and skills that they can fall back on to find their inner power. And now we have our final part of TSP, which is our mentorship program. So I'd like to introduce Isabella Lee from Ontario to talk about this. So Isabella is our TSP Women and Mentor Recruitment member of the team, and she is interested in all things related to humans and our emotional health. She is also an avid reader of fiction stories that show her what it's like to be a different person in different circumstances. So Isabella?
I know we're all online right now, super easy to zone out and, get distracted by other things. But I think something that, even though we're online and even though we are separated by so much distance, something we can all relate to is the feeling of, not being sure with ourselves. And maybe some people feel this, occasionally, or some people feel this all the time. But I know for me, it was definitely the latter. So I felt that all the time. So after my best friend moved in grade 8, so I had to start high school alone, I remember being a really fierce, harsh, critic of myself. I was super, super critical about my behavior, my appearance, and everything. And I still don't know to this day, what was the exact reason all of this happened. But maybe that's not the important part. But because all I know is that feeling was super debilitating. And I know that the voice inside our own heads is worse than how anyone else could speak to us. Isn't it pretty crazy how terribly we treat ourselves sometimes? So for me, it was a combination of debate, finding new friends that I'm able to be honest and vulnerable with, that helps me, be where I am today. So sometimes feeling like I'm not good enough, but the majority of the time, feeling like I'm capable and I'm strong and I'm able to work past it. So that's where I am today. So I joined the Serenity Project because I believe everyone deserves to believe in themselves and have the confidence to exist as their true selves. And it's not saying it's easy. In fact, it's crazy hard, especially with social media, telling us, we aren't enough. Companies exploiting the fact that, we have a tendency for social comparison. And I could just go on forever. But it's precisely because it's hard that it's really, really worth and it's meaningful to work towards building a world, the ideal that the TSP team strives to build, a world where women are confident and empowered, and we think this is possible. We know the world is far from perfect, and the people that are involved in our program, their survivors, are a testament to such. But we believe that we can transform pain into power. So I've been doing this through my work. My work is super meaningful to me because I'm the first line of contact to the at-risk woman. So I try not to appear like the typical salesman trying to sell them something, but instead, be a human, show them that I'm there, able to listen to them, and then also just be there as someone who acknowledges the depth of their trauma and listens to their story. It's sometimes heartbreaking and emotional, but it's always rewarding. In addition, reaching out to potential mentors, so successful women who care and have the expertise to share to these at-risk women who care about these individuals, that gives me a lot of hope. So I don't know how to end this, and I think I'm going to conclude with saying that you want to be involved with the Serenity Project, and the amount of positivity that is in this team, in everybody that I talk to, cannot be put into words. So you have to just experience it yourself.
Thank you so much, Isabella. So lastly, I would like to introduce Sydney. Sydney will be entering her 4th year this fall, majoring in political science and minoring in classics at Queen's University, and she is passionate about empowerment and has been working and researching human trafficking and how to better serve these survivors globally and locally here at home.
I'm part of a community development intern team here at the Serenity Project, and I'm so happy to have this opportunity to be here with all of you. I've been motivated and drawn towards supporting women and empowering them, having been surrounded by such strong women in my family, from both grandmothers being immigrants and working for everything they have, and my own mother being the first generation in her family to go to university. For me, advocating and empowering women means paying attention to how women of the past stood up against discrimination and demanded and achieved equal rights through societal changes that they brought about, and about actualizing a future where every person worldwide has equal opportunities, free from violence and discrimination. It is about empowering all people to actively participate in their community, and that is exactly what TSP does. TSP does not have a certain woman we work with. We want to empower all women and all survivors to see their light and to spread it to the world, a mission I've never seen from another organization. It has been amazing to connect and spread our message on social media and to grow our outreach. It would be amazing if at this time, everyone could take a moment to make sure you are connected with us across our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you're interested in getting more involved, please reach out to us. We are always happy to connect.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sydney. If you look in the chat, Cassie just shared all of our social media, so make sure you follow us and check it out. So as you can see from just a few of our team members, we have a really amazing team, and that was just a few of them. So we just want to do a quick thank you to each and every one of you. So now, Hayden, if you want to do the honors with some closing remarks.
Sure. At the Serenity Project, thank you, Andrea, by the way. At the Serenity Project, it is our mission to provide these resilient survivors with the support, skills, and we are trying to provide them with all of the skills that they need to flourish after going through this trauma that they have just faced. We are constantly challenging unhealthy beauty standards and giving these women an educational advantage, giving them access to guest speakers and different outstanding curriculum to change their lives, not just once at the fashion show, but we want them to carry this confidence on throughout the remainder of the year and learn how to use it in their day-to-day lives where it's actually affecting them. At the Serenity Project, we are taking charge and we are determined to help these women after these overwhelming experiences. And it is our hope that after watching this documentary, you not only join in our cause, but become inspired to challenge your own insecurities. So please join us in celebrating every one of our most human qualities. And on behalf of our team, thank you so much and enjoy the documentary.